If you avoid people but still feel lonely, this might hit you harder than you expect. You cancel plans, you ignore messages, you choose to stay in your own space. And yet, somehow, at the end of the day, there's this quiet emptiness that doesn't go away. It's confusing, right? Because on one side, you don't feel like talking to anyone, you don't have the energy to socialize, and being alone feels peaceful. But on the other side, you miss something. You feel disconnected. You feel like nobody really understands you. And the worst part is, you don't even know how to explain this feeling to anyone. Because from the outside, it looks like you're choosing isolation. But inside, it doesn't feel like a choice at all. It feels like something you're stuck in. And if you've ever felt this contradiction, wanting space but also craving connection, then this isn't just a habit. There's a deeper psychological reason behind it. It usually doesn't start like this. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to disconnect from everyone. It builds slowly. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you tried to open up, but nobody really listened. Or maybe you were surrounded by people who never truly understood you. So over time, your mind learns something very simple. It's safer to be alone. And honestly, it makes sense. When conversations feel fake, when people drain your energy, when you feel like you have to pretend just to fit in, your brain chooses protection over connection. You stop texting first, you stop sharing your thoughts, you start enjoying your own company more than anyone else's. And for a while, it actually feels peaceful, like you finally escaped the noise. But what you don't realize is, you didn't just escape people, you also started closing the door on real connection. And that's where the real conflict begins, because humans are wired for connection. No matter how independent you become, a part of you still wants to be seen, understood, and accepted. So even if you avoid people, that need doesn't disappear, it just stays silent. You might tell yourself, I'm better off alone, but late at night, when everything is quiet, your thoughts say something else. You start missing deep conversations. You start wishing someone actually understood you without you having to explain everything. You want connection, but only the real kind. And because that kind of connection is rare, you'd rather have nothing than something fake. So you stay alone, not because you hate people, but because you haven't found the right ones. And slowly, that turns into loneliness. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet feeling that something is missing. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. If you feel like this, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. In fact, it often means you're more self-aware than most people around you. You can't tolerate fake conversations. You don't enjoy meaningless interactions. You don't want attention. You want understanding. And that's rare. But there's also a danger in this, because when you start believing that nobody gets me, you stop trying. You isolate yourself even more. You build comfort in your own world. And slowly, your safe space turns into a cage. Not because being alone is bad, but because too much isolation starts disconnecting you from reality. The problem isn't that you need people all the time. The problem is you've stopped allowing the possibility that the right people might exist. So what do? You don't suddenly force yourself to become social. You don't fake your personality just to fit in. Instead, you start small. You stay true to yourself, but you stay open. You don't need 100 people. You just need one real connection, one person who listens, one conversation that feels genuine. And yes, it might take time, but closing yourself completely is not the answer, because the same part of you that enjoys solitude also deserves connection. You're not broken for wanting both. You're human, and maybe the goal isn't to choose between being alone or being with people. Maybe the goal is to find a balance where you can be yourself without feeling alone. And when that happens, you won't have to avoid people anymore, because you'll finally find the ones who feel like peace, not pressure.